For this video, I'm going to be discussing my actual departure from the United States and coming here to the Philippines. So just as a little prelude into that, remember that I am departing. My flight leaves February 10th of 2020. At the time, there was nothing really going on out there too much about COVID. Now, back in December when I purchased my ticket, nobody heard about the COVID stuff. There was nothing out there, no concerns. That's why buying a ticket, like you're not looking at certain dates or anything like that. When January rolled along, there was a concern, but it wasn't COVID. It was Taal volcano. It's an active volcano. It's an older volcano, but it's still somewhat active. And for a while, it had been steaming, billowing out ash and everything like that. It was a big spectacle and stuff in the news here. But what started to become a concern was the ash started getting so much that it's traveling into Manila. And it's causing Manila airport to be shut down. They're rerouting flights. My concern is, okay, if this is going on when I try to arrive, I might be ending up, my flight might be landing at Clark, which is in Angeles, which is a couple hours north of Manila. I got to try and figure out, first off, how is she going to be able to get up there to Clark to meet me there? And then we're going to have to travel all the way back down to Manila. So it means we're going to have to rent a car or hire a driver or something. If Clark also ends up being blocked, I might end up being dropped in Cebu, which is, islands way out where I'm going to have to go through ferries and this and that. She's probably not going to be able to meet me at the airport there. I mean, it was looking to be a pain in the ass. So we're keeping an eye on that. And another thing too is Taal volcano is not very far from where we live here. So where she lives, the place that I'm looking to move to, it might be having problems with all the ashfall and stuff. So that was one of the concerns, but luckily by February when I'm getting ready to fly out, activity had kind of slowed down a bit to where there wasn't all that big ashfall and stuff like that. It wasn't a big concern anymore. And obviously it died off since then. A little bit of activity, but nothing major. Just before, the week before I start getting on the flight though, you start seeing in the news about, all this SARS-like virus coming out of China. People with it have been flying from China to other countries. They're spreading it. And because of that, certain countries are now blocking inbound flights from China. The Philippines at the time had blocked China, but I'm going, my flight is going to be going from San Francisco to Taipei, Taiwan, then from Taiwan into Manila. Taiwan's not on the restricted list for Philippines, so I'm okay, I'm good to go. So yeah, I get on my flight, fly out of one of the nearer local airports, travel up to Portland, Oregon, from Portland, Oregon, fly down to San Francisco, and this is where an absolute nightmare starts. So when you're on the flight, you put your phone on airplane mode, shuts off all your Wi-Fi, your cellular data and all that. And then when you land, you're deboarding, that's when you flip your phone back on. So as I'm arriving in San Francisco International, it's about 9:30 or so at night. Our plane has come up to the jetway. People are grabbing their crap from the overhead bins and they're filing in the aisles to get off the plane. I figure I'm not in a big hurry. I've got an hour and a half before my next connecting flight leaves. So I'm just going to chill and wait. So I turn my phone back on and I immediately notice it bling that I've got a voicemail, which to me was odd because nobody should be calling me. People that have my phone that are going to be calling you in the evening, what's going on? Okay. So I listen to the voicemail and it's somebody with this strong accent saying that it's China Airlines, my flight was canceled. No explanations or nothing like that. They said, look for an email. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this? What do you mean canceled? How? No. I close the phone, I exit out of the voicemail. Sure enough, there's a text message. So I open up the text message. It's a random, like, computer generated text message from China Airlines saying that my flight has been canceled and here's the number to contact for refund, like whatever the crap. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. This can't be happening. I'm in the middle of moving overseas. I got all my shit in my luggage. I don't have a home anymore. Like, no, this can't be possible. So I'm rushing in. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Because my flight has been canceled, they're telling me I'm going to have to claim my luggage since it's, not getting on a connecting flight. I'm trying to find out which one of these rotunda things has got my luggage on it. None of them are showing properly, which flight. And then when I finally do get it figured out, I get my luggage, sorry, I don't get my luggage. I wait, I see my luggage isn't there. So I go into the airline's little office thing and I ask them, where's my luggage? I was told my flight's canceled and yet my luggage isn't out there. They sat there for 15 minutes trying to figure it out, and they're like, okay, your luggage was already put on that connecting flight. I'm like, no, there is no connecting flight. The flight is canceled. She's like, no, the flight that's going to Taiwan is still open, but from Taiwan to the Philippines has been closed. The Philippines has blocked inbound flights from Taiwan as well. That's why it's blocked. So they're not going to allow you to fly to Taiwan. Okay, so why is my luggage on that flight? And they went out, they quickly were able to go out, find my luggage, bring it back in. So now it's about 10:30 or almost 10:30 p.m. I've got all my luggage sitting there. I don't know what the hell to do. First thing I do is I go to the China Airlines ticket terminal, and I'm trying to, it's a completely other terminal. You got to get on a fucking train thing, and go to the other terminal. And I started asking them, like, hey, what's going on? I was told my flight's canceled. And they're like, yeah, your flight's canceled. Okay, are you able to get me on another flight? No, we cannot. What do you mean you can't? Don't you have other connecting routes? No. Okay. What are they? She's like, it's not just China and Taiwan. Now, China Airlines, the airline that I was on, they've been banned from going into the Philippines, regardless of where they're coming from. So China Airlines is basically telling me they won't do shit. Here it is, 10:30 p.m. at night, and I'm now being abandoned inside of San Francisco Airport. I don't have much money on me right now. I really don't know what I'm going to do. So I asked them, like, okay, and I'm talking to supervisors and everything. I'm like, look, my flight was canceled. Is there any way that you're able to communicate with one of the other airlines to try and arrange for me to get my flight? Because the trying to get a refund from you guys and then trying to somehow buy another ticket, like, I can't do that. I don't have the money for that. They wouldn't help me. I'm like, okay, do you have like vouchers that I could, stay in a hotel or something while I get this figured out? No. Do you have meal vouchers so I can at least get something to eat? No. So you guys are gonna just leave me here with nothing. They're like, pretty much, yeah. Okay, so what can I do? Well, our ticket office opens up at 9 a.m. You can call them tomorrow morning and ask for a refund. All right, well, how long would the refund take? 3 or 4 days. So I'm at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I'm contacting my family, and of course, they don't have any money. They don't have any way to help out with that. I don't have enough to buy another ticket. I've only got like, $80-something in my wallet. I've got enough money in the bank to pretty much cover food expenses while I'm in the Philippines, for the next 3 weeks until my paycheck comes through on March 1st. And it's not enough for any kind of a ticket. So I don't know what to do. I start walking around the ticket terminal, trying to find out if there's somebody I can ask at the airport. I'm trying to file a complaint with China Airlines. Like, I need to get on some kind of connecting flight. Nobody's able to help out. It's so late that almost none of the ticket areas are even open. None of the complaint office, like nothing is fucking open at this hour. And I see these two airport police. One was on a bicycle, the other's on, like, I think it was a Segway. They're rolling through, and I stop and I'm like, look, maybe you guys can help me out. I don't know what to do. I'm in the process of moving overseas. I'm a disabled veteran. I am totally homeless here in the United States because I just moved, I'm moving. I don't have anywhere. My family doesn't have the finances or anything to help me out. And I'm going to have to possibly be waiting a few days to get my refund from China Airlines so I can get on another flight right now. But I'm stuck in the airport. Again, I'm a disabled veteran. I got bad legs. I can't just be hauling all my luggage around and crap. Do you guys know what am I supposed to do? Is there some kind of a complaint office, supervisor, manager of the airport? Like, is there somebody that can help me get this resolved? And they could see I'm obviously in distress. And one of the guys is like, have you tried the USO? And I'm like, the what? From my understanding, the USO was the organization that arranges for singers, comedians, and bands and stuff to go entertain the troops overseas. I didn't know they had anything at the airport. So he's like, yeah, you go here, you go here, you go here. Gave me, some general directions on how to get to the USO. Navigating down corridors and hallways and areas under construction, and I feel like I'm going through some back alley of Detroit type environment where it's spooky and you feel like you're going to get jacked at any moment. Going along, and finally I come up and there's the entryway for the USO. Pointer for anybody that works for San Francisco. USO is a big fucking deal. You need to make it a lot easier for people to actually find that place and make sure that they're given a lot of respect because of what they do. You got your American Airlines and Delta and whoever, the little passenger lounges and shit like that for normal people. Hey, if you didn't serve in the military, okay, I got it, it's cool. But for the people that did serve in the military and that qualify for USO service, they need to be put out there with some extra care. And the way that the USO there was treated, being all tucked away in a fucking back alley corner closet area with no fucking signage or any directions or anything like that, that was just a pain in the ass, and it was bullshit. So anyway, I'm tired, I'm beat, it's close to 11 o'clock p.m. now. I start rolling into USO, right there through the doors, you got a front desk, and I'm still like, I don't know what these guys are going to be able to do, but at least I can try. Talk to the guy at the front desk, I'm like, look, I'm a disabled veteran. I'm now stranded here in the airport terminal. I'm in the process of moving overseas. I don't have a home in the U.S. I don't have anywhere to go back to. I can only go forward from here. My flight just got canceled. I don't have the money to buy another ticket. Is it okay with you guys, if I stay here for a bit so that I can charge my phone up, so that I can leave my bags secured, so I don't have to carry all my luggage and shit with me when I'm trying to go to all these different offices? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem, man. We'll help you out. You got your ID? So out of my wallet, I whip out my VA disabled veteran ID card. It's for the VA medical system. He's like, no, your other one. I'm like, what other one? He points at his sign, and the sign's basically stating that the people that are qualified for USO services, active duty, their spouse and dependents, fully retired military, or 100% disabled veterans. All of those people have a special military-style ID card, not just the basic disabled veteran ID card. So I told him, look, I'm a disabled veteran with only a 50% rating. I'm currently going through the appeal process for my 100%, but I don't have it yet. What, does that mean you guys aren't going to be able to help me? Like, I've got active duty, his kids that are traveling between college. They're crashing here overnight because they've got a long layover. That's fine. I got no problem with you guys helping out dependents and stuff, but I'm just saying that as a disabled veteran, I'm not qualified for service here under this emergency, yet somebody's kids on their way to college is able to crash out here. Like, am I just confirming that this is accurate? And he's like, Technically, yes, but due to the circumstances, don't worry about it. I'll sign you in. You're good to go. So I'm like, all right. Um, he said, look, most stuff is closed at this hour. You're going to have to wait till morning. We've got computers over on this side. I'll give you the access login so you can log in. You can use the computers, do what you got to do on there. If you need to print, you can print. And we've got a telephone over here. We've got our lounge chairs here. Some of the lounge chairs have a USB plug so you can plug your phone in to charge it. We've got like a little cafe type thing over there. If you want a Coke, if you want some Hot Pockets or whatever, you know, some donuts. We got some food over there. No charge for anything. You know, if you just want to sprawl out on a couch, crash, go to sleep, whatever, that's cool. We got a TV over here with the Xbox and a PlayStation if you want to do some gaming. You know, we got no problem, man. I just, you know, keep the noise down at night and, you know, we're good to go. So, okay, so I've got an area there where I can park my fucking luggage. First thing I do, because my battery's starting to get low on my phone, I go over, I start charging my phone, and I'm going onto the computer to try and like look up flight information, other alternate flights. I'm just trying to look up all this information. I'm seeing that like the ticket prices are still $500, even just from Frisco over. And over the next couple of days, they go up to well above $1,300 because all of a sudden this COVID shit starts to hit. All these flights everywhere are getting canceled through certain places. So the only flights that are actually going to come into the Philippines, there's such a high demand for all those tickets now. Boom, fucking ticket prices are climbing like crazy. You know, a ticket that would have cost you $300 now is up there to $900 to $1,000. The ticket that I was looking at, you know, anything that would actually get me into the Philippines, $900 was the average. There were a couple of them that were down there a little bit cheaper, but we're talking like 20-hour layovers in some spots. But at that point, I didn't care how long a layover I had as long as I actually got my flight there. I'm communicating with my fiance, you know, telling Vina, look, this situation's going on, trying to figure it out. She's freaking out because she's not even sure I'm going to be able to make it into the country or not. We just didn't know what was going to happen. The next day, I'm up. I'm trying to talk to China Airlines. They're saying that, yeah, it's going to probably be 2 weeks before I get a refund, and that they are absolutely unable to help me. They're not willing to help me in any way possible. So I start calling different people up, different organizations, vet groups, and this and that. Nobody's got the funds really to buy me a ticket, but some people are willing to spend a ticket money, like to pay for my tickets to return back home to nothing. And I'm like, look, the cost of the flight to get me back home would pretty much be the same price as me traveling to my destination. If I could just give you the rest of the money I have in my wallet to kind of cover the difference, then maybe you can help me get my ticket to get into the Philippines. Like, no, we won't do that. We can't do that. We got to make sure if we give you the money, it's so you can get back to your home safely. I don't have a home to go back to. My home is going to be in the Philippines. So that was nowhere. One place did offer me a hotel room, and they would even come pick me up and take me to the hotel. But when I'm thinking about it is, I need to be in the airport, because if I'm able to get in and talk to different people and somehow able to arrange a last minute jump seat or something on one of these flights, I needed to be right there in the airport, able to talk to people face to face and be able to just on last minute notice be able to boom, hop on a flight and get the hell out of there. You go to a hotel, who knows how far that fucking thing is from the airport and how many hours it's going to take to get there. I just didn't want to risk it. Plus, you know, at that time it's like 2 weeks for my refund, and yet they're only going to put me up for like 1, maybe 2 nights in a hotel. Just didn't really seem, yeah, it would be a way to go in, get showered, shave, do all that stuff, get some sleep, but with everything going on, I'm not going to be able to fucking sleep. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not going to get any sleep unless I pop some pills. So I just opted to stay there in the USO. The next morning, they had some kind of like a whole bunch of bigwigs from the VA, or not VA, bigwigs from like USO and other places all coming in to tour the place. And I'm like, oh shit, that's just what I need. These people are going to be coming in. They're going to be auditing the books. They're going to be looking to see who's there. And boom, here's a dude that doesn't belong here. I ain't got the proper ID yet. They're going to probably skim my ass out. No, they were actually totally cool with it. The people from the USO were even telling each other, like, yeah, this is one of those examples where extreme hardships, we're willing to help out veterans, even if they're not our normal clients. And I'm like, but you guys don't know how much help you guys are being, because if it hadn't been for the USO, I don't know what I'd have done. I wouldn't have been able to figure things out like I did. So after going through that all day long, I'm trying to look at just what options are there. Okay, you know, I've got credit cards, but my credit cards are all maxed out. You know, am I able to apply for some kind of a loan? I started doing all these different loan applications, trying to apply new credit cards. Problem is, I've got, you know, $30,000, $40,000, whatever, in student loans. When I had them do voluntary repossession on my car, they went auctioned it off for dirt fucking cheap. You know, got like a $20,000+ Lexus, and they auctioned the thing off for like $3,800. I still owed like $11,000 on it at the time, so I ended up still owing $8,000 for that. So with all that amount that I owed, my credit score wasn't going to allow me to get any loans, so I was kind of screwed. And then I remembered seeing somewhere there was a website for the city next to the city I live in, same city where I had to fly out of. They've got one of those payday loan places, and they do online applications. I hadn't, you know, changed any of my banking information because I didn't have a new address yet. It was still just going to be forwarded somewhere. So I went online and I did the application process, showed them that, yeah, I make this much amount every month from the VA, this is my rent and whatever. And I got approved for $200. That $200, along with the money that I had in my bank at the time, it was barely enough, but I was able to purchase a ticket to get to the Philippines. And it would still leave me with the $86 I had in my wallet, and I would still have, what was it, like $60, $50, something like that in the bank. The nice thing was, I actually got lucky on this. The flight that I was able to get was the dream flight, the flight that I was trying to get from the beginning, but it was like $1,300, and I was able to score the flight for a little over $500. And that was going from Frisco, going to Manila through Tokyo on Japan Airlines. My favorite airline, Japan Airlines. I love that airline. I love their in-flight meals, just customer service, everything about Japan Airlines. Always the way to go. Don't ever, ever, fucking ever get on China Airlines. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care how much you like and appreciate China or any of that bullshit. If you want to make sure you get to your destination, don't ever take China Airlines. There's reasons why that airline has been banned from certain countries during certain periods. Lack of maintenance on their aircraft, lack of training. And you get on China Airlines flight, you're probably going to be landing somewhere out in the ocean. Yeah, so I'll end with that, but just don't take China Airlines. So I get a flight, Japan Airlines, so we're going to go from San Francisco up to, oh crap, what was it? Somewhere in Canada. I don't remember if it was Toronto or, sorry, I can't remember. Got that issue with the short-term memory loss sometimes. But I go from there, Vancouver, that's what it was, Vancouver. Went from Vancouver over to Tokyo, and then Tokyo into Manila. My original flight was supposed to be landing in the Philippines at Manila, 9:30 a.m., February 12th. The flight that I eventually ended up getting got here at like 10 something p.m. or no, like 9:30 p.m. on February 13th. So I got here, you know, my big thing was making sure I was in the Philippines in time for Valentine's Day so I could actually have a real Valentine's with her this time. And it was just a weird experience arriving here at night, and just things at the airport were, not just because of COVID, I mean just in general, it was a very spooky feeling. So I'll probably just cover that in another video, so that way this one's not too long.